Welcome to the Cleanup Part 2 video tutorial, created to show you the cleanup process on color line art drawings within Toonz Harlequin. For this tutorial we will use girl thief sequence, that is a female character with black outlines, red lines for shade areas, blue lines for highlight areas. Stored into Toonz traditional workflow tutorial material and inside the scanned drawings folder. To load the scanned drawings in a new scene, we can drag and drop the icon from browser pane to the scene cast. When the dialog appears, because the selected sequence doesn't belong to the current project, click the Load button. Let's see how to set the cleanup settings for the color line art sequence. Choose Scan and Cleanup, Cleanup Settings. In the Cleanup Settings dialog that opens, set to activate the Auto Center option to automatically center drawings according to the set peg bar holes position and reference field guide. Peg bar holes set on bottom, and fill guide will be set on fill 10 4mm Acme, that is our format. About the processing parameters in the processing page, for the girl sequence we need to use the color line processing to recognize all colored lines. When you choose the color mode, the settings page will show cleanup palette chips, each one provided with its editable parameters. For current example, we set line processing on color and anti-alias on standard. We are going to use 3 color chips into cleanup palette, picking samples from the working area. It is possible to add, remove colors and pick reference from scanned image using the RGB picker tool. Before proceeding on parameter setting, I will activate the preview to have a real-time feedback. Let's start with black color chip, setting the brightness to 0 and contrast to 50. In addition to the brightness and contrast scrollers, we can set further useful parameters. The color threshold sets pixels that have to be considered black and those that have to be considered colors. The higher the value, the higher the number of pixels that will be considered as colored. Set it here on 60. The white threshold sets pixels that have to be considered white, for example, to eliminate the paper color. The higher the value, the higher the number of pixels that will be considered as white. Set it here on 25. Move now to the red color chip and set also here brightness to 0 and contrast to 50. For secondary colors, the black is the primary one, we can also use these specific parameters. H range, that sets the range of the hue for the color recognition. The higher the value, the higher the number of differently colored pixels that will be associated to the set color. Set it here to 120. About the line width, it sets the width of the recognized colored line. The higher the value, the higher the number of desaturated pixels that will be associated to the set color, thus increasing the line thickness. Set it here to 60. For the blue chip, we will set brightness to 0, contrast to 50, H range to 120 and line width to 50. It is also possible to assign a different color that will be applied on recognized lines after the processing. For instance, we can click on red chip into the style editor and change the second color displayed into the chip to orange and see the color changing in the preview area. We can do the same selecting a sky blue for the blue color and see the new result in the preview area. About this page, the remaining parameters will be sharpness set to 90 and the speckling will be set to 5. Using now the preview area below, we can zoom in and check how parameters work in order to achieve the final result. Let's see now the difference between the standard and morphological anti-alias algorithm. As you can see, the MLAA, morphological anti-aliasing, appears, and now all the contrast scrollers are locked because of it. We can move the MLAA scroller and look at the previous watch to check the result. Now we can move back to the standard and back again on morphological to compare the appearance of lines using the difference algorithm. In the camera page of the cleanup settings, we can set the following values: width on 10 field, 8 on 7.5 field, the closest field to 10 field, the horizontal resolution will be set on 2048 and the vertical resolution will be set on 1536. The aspect ratio will be set on 4/3. As you can see, the closest field defined will have the same size of the camera, because it is not necessary to zoom in on drawings in this example. About the east-west and north-south offset, we are not going to use them in this example. To control the line quality and anti-aliasing in the viewer, in the X sheet, select the first frame of the girl level, then choose Scan and Cleanup, Preview Cleanup to preview the process in the work area. After defining cleanup parameters, you can click on the related button and save the girl.cln, for instance, into the plus drawing folder of the current project. That is the default choice. The result of the cleanup process is a TLV file, property raster color mapped level, and a TPL file for the related palette. To clean up the level drawings using the defined settings, in the X sheet, select all of the level frames, choose Scan and Cleanup, and then Cleanup. And finally, clean up all. When it is done, to save the scene, choose File, Save Scene As. In the browser instance that opens, select the My Scenes folder of the current project and assign cleanup_test02 as name and click the Save button. If you want to save a specific level, select it, go inside File, Save Level As, choose a folder among the ones available into your browser, like Cleaned Up Drawings, assign a name, and click on Save. Now we have already saved different versions of this cleanup level using the different modes available for the anti-aliasing algorithms. So now, close and now take a look inside the browser to retrieve the different results using the standard algorithm the morphological one. And no anti-alias. Thanks for your attention and see you on the next video tutorial.